Hey guys, welcome to the Transit strategy. So this map is pretty complicated, so we're going to jump right into this right away to deal with how to get through it easily. So you're going to want to build this thing called a wind turbine right away, and right there was one of the parts. There are 3 parts and they're all in spawn. The one part that I just picked up was there. The fan is right to the right of the table, and then that mannequin was on the sign. So a lot of people already know where those are, and that's pretty, I mean, it's easy to make those, but it's probably the most important buildable item in the map. You know, a lot of people do like the zombie shield, but after using all of them, I just think the turbine's the best choice. So then instead of buying the door, you're going to want to use the turbine to open up those power doors and get whatever item is inside. There's a random item on the inside. Usually it's a piece for the bus. So in this case we got the train front to the bus, which is a helpful one, so the zombies can't jump in from the front of the bus, which is pretty cool. So it's like round 2, and towards the end of round 2 you're going to want to get the bus to leave, because you don't want to be on the bus mid-round. It's really a death trap. And especially later rounds, you're really not going to be using the bus. You're going to be using other sources of transportation or moving around the map, which I will get into a lot later in the video. But first, I'm just going to get you through getting around the map once and getting situated for the first few rounds, and then getting ready for Pack-a-Punch and all that stuff. So there are many places to run train. I'm jumping off here. You can run train in this area because the little monster things that jump on your head don't spawn here, so you can run kind of a train around there. Some people do that. You could also run train at a farm in town. Those are good places to run. And Diner has kind of a train you can do, but I wouldn't recommend it highly. I would take either the farm or the train, or not the train, the town or the tunnel, because the diner just gets a bit packed on higher rounds. So now that we're at diner, you're gonna have someone open the door to box, because you're definitely gonna want to get a box gun. You don't necessarily have to build the zombie shield right now. If you really want it, you're going to want to get it later, because you're going to need the turbine for when you Pack-a-Punch later on. And it's just helpful because when you're exploring, the turbine opens things up for you as well. That's pretty nice. So one of the pieces will be the car door, which will either be on the car, somewhere in that room, or that room to the right. It will be right by the doorway. And then the trolley will be in the other door you can buy in the diner, which is like a separate building. That's also where the Galvaknuckles are, which I will be explaining later, because those are really helpful when you're running through the fog without the bus. Because you are going to end up going around without the bus, because it's just too inconvenient to have to wait for it all the time. So there are other methods of transportation, which include running and doing a teleport through the lamps, which once again I'll explain a bit later. So now that you're back on the bus, you're going to head up towards farm. And farm has kind of a unique thing to it. If you open the door into farm and then open the door into the house, there's a fridge that you can store weapons in. And that weapon, if you leave it in the fridge, will be there the next time you go to play zombies online, or on just custom games, or anywhere. You will always have that weapon with you. So if you leave a Pack-a-Punch gun in the fridge, it is there for you in other games, which is pretty nice, because you could, let's say you had like a Pack-a-Punch ray gun, and you have to go, or you know that you're gonna die, and or it's low on ammo, and you want to grab another gun, but you don't want to get rid of it. You can go store it in that fridge and then return it later. Something weird is you cannot store the M1911 in the fridge. It just won't let you, which kind of sucks, but I guess that's, I don't know why they chose to do that, but they did. And so farm, you don't really need anything the first time you pass. You kind of just want to speed the bus along, and a way you can do that is if you open and close the door, the bus will actually start moving again faster. And you just kind of want to get out of farm as soon as you can, because there's nothing there for you the first time you pass through. And you are probably not going to want to end the round when you're at farm the first time, because the next area, which is the power area, you can easily get trapped in. And it's tough, because even once you turn the power on, it takes a while to like initially boot up, and there's a door blocking your way until the power officially turns on. So you really don't want to be down in there looking for the power parts or waiting for that door to open. A way you can speed the door up is if you open it with a wind turbine, which is what I think we end up doing. But you also have to build the power, so you have to find 3 parts, which is the back panel, the lever, and the zombie's hand that is on the lever. And then you just have to build those and then turn the power on. And you can also turn the power off. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you that because my friend knocked me out of the bus early and there's no way to get in. So what I'm doing for him is, because it is the start of the round, I'm just kind of killing all the zombies so that they don't get into where he is, so he can easily build the power parts. And they just they're usually in the same place. They're not too hard to find. The hardest one to find is the zombie hand, which is usually just on the ground somewhere, so it's not too much of a problem to find. You just have to look on the floor and just find that little, like, press X to pick up a part notification. And also in this area is one of the coolest new perks that they've added into zombies called Tombstone, which if you buy it and you die, you'll have an option to just kind of not let yourself get revived, and it will leave a little tombstone behind, and you will spawn back the next round, and when you grab your tombstone, you will receive all your weapons and perks that you had prior to dying, which is really nice, especially later on, because all 4 of you are not going to be at the same area of the map. So it's pretty cool. So here, I just kind of jumped out of the bus right before town because there were a bunch of zombies. And it's not too hard to run from power to town, so I'm just running through. And once you get to town, you're going to want to get Jug, because Jug is the most important perk, obviously. And town also has a special thing like farm does. It has a bank which you can store your points in from game to game. So I have like over 100,000 points, but in order to open the vault you have to throw a grenade or shoot it with a ray gun or shoot it with an RPG, but grenade's the easiest. And then you open that door and the pack-a-punch would be in there, but you have to do something else to open a 3rd door, which I'll get into later. And Jug is up in this room here, so you just buy the door, go in, and it's in this corner. It's in kind of a bad place. You can get cornered back there if you're not careful, so just be aware. If you're going for Jug mid-round, like you went down or something, just to be careful up there, because you don't want to get stuck in this room. It's not a good place to end up. And you just, just stay out of there. Try to stay in the streets. And that also brings us to basically training in the town. So that was just me using the bank. But town train is probably the easiest in the game to do, in that you just kind of run between the 2 buildings. Here I just got money because we're going to go for Galvaknuckles, because you're going to want those not only for points, but when you're running through the fog, you know, it's annoying. You have to knife those things 5 times to get them off your head. And with the Galvaknuckles, it's only 2. If you play on easy mode, it's only 1, but, you know, come on, don't play on easy. Be a true player, play on original. And it's helpful, and it knifes fast. It's a pretty good investment. So, just to run through the mist, you just kind of have to follow the path, watch where you are on the ground, look for these green lamps, which you can actually teleport through. If you bring one of these things close, they will go on the ground and make a portal, and if you jump into it, it will teleport you to one of the other different lamps. So it brought me over by Diner, so I'm going to run over, and there I am in Diner, and I'll go grab the Galvaknuckles. The Galvaknuckles are in the, like, cafe area, and you're going to open up the door there and grab them. And that's just the ladder for the bus, which is pretty nice thing to get on the top. You're going to want that. So here was the trolley for the zombie shield. It's somewhere in there. And up here is where the Galvaknuckles are. So that's them. I would definitely grab them. They're kind of hard to get points for if you don't have money in the bank, and it's just kind of a waste. But if you save up the money and you get them really early on, they really do make your money back. So I would recommend to have those for sure. So here's just back at town, a little bit of showing off with these Galvaknuckles. So first of all, when you knife the zombies that are on fire, they don't explode like they do with like the Bowie knife. So you don't take any damage no matter what zombie you're hitting. Also, if you notice, it's a lot faster the animation's much faster, and you're back able to shoot. And they're a one-hit kill until round 14, but they're much like any other knife. You can't use them with a huge crowd of zombies. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You kind of just have to use them on the little stranglers that aren't in your train. Otherwise, you're going to end up shooting. So it's not a full replacement to your gun, but it's still a really good spend of 6,000 points, I believe, because you really do make those back fast, and it saves you a lot of ammo later on. So I would definitely recommend it, even though my friend just went down. It was because he tried to knife them through there. So here is the farm train, just kind of showing it off. What you're going to want to do is you're going to try to loop around this semi-truck as much as you can. That's your lifeline. That semi-truck will block them off. And you just kind of want to do circles around it, and also the yard of the house, you can kind of run around in there. It's one of the better trains. It actually has a weapon. Like, I have the R870 shotgun. I have it pack-punched. And that way you don't really have to leave to get a new weapon. You can just buy ammo for it. Unfortunately, it's not the most powerful wall gun. It's really not that good. You would have to, I don't know. I don't like it all that much. It's not that strong. So let's move on to more details on the town train. So if you have even with 2 people, I would say you really just want 1 person here. But what you do is you loop through the building. So I went up that building, then you drop down when it's clear, go across, sidestep zombies, jump over the lava, and then you go up into the other building, and you can shoot in between, but you go up into the other building and then drop down from there. So you kind of just go in a figure-8 pattern throughout this area of the map, and it's really effective. The one thing you do have to watch out for, though, is the bus, because it will run you over. And speaking of the bus, this is how to move around the map without the bus. So from spawn running to diner, you're going to want to take off to the right, and you're going to hop this little lava pile. Be careful of going over the lava with one of these on your head, because you can die without jug. So you're going to enter this tunnel, and this tunnel part of it they can't get you, and part of it they can. So just this one's really easy because all you have to do is really follow the tunnel. So just follow the tunnel. And what's nice about this one is you can run through it mid-round because you can run train in here. So you don't have to be too worried about getting trapped. You can see this is definitely, I think, the easiest one to run. The M16's on the wall over there to help you out if you're running train here. You can always buy ammo for that. So this is a pretty good train. This is high up there with some of the best. And I would recommend that. But you just keep following the tunnel. And just try to stay far away from the zombies. Sprint as much as you can because you move really slow with the things on your head, and if you don't have Galvaknuckles, then it's going to slow you down and you can die a lot easier. And once you get out of the tunnel, your visibility is going to decrease a bit, but what you're going to want to do is kind of stay with the road, but also stay left because there will be some sandbags, so just kind of take a left around these rocks and then go straight. You're going to see some lava coming in from the diner and the sign, and then you're here. So that is from spawn to diner. So now from diner to farm is a bit more difficult because you have a huge lava pit you have to jump, and you have to be really careful. You can make it without jug, but you don't want to get one of the things on your head because you can go down so easy. So you're just going to want to constantly jump over this and make sure you go in a straight line and go fast. As you can see, I went in red, so I got lucky and one of the things did not jump on my head until after I wasn't red anymore. My friend did not make it across, as you saw. So this one you're going to want to just kind of loop around with the rocks, stay right when you get to this tree fence area, and just continue to follow the trail. It's kind of gonna loop you around left a bit, and then you'll see the farm light in the distance, and you just go over to it. You have to be careful you don't get lost with the things on your head. Just try to stick to the edge if you can. And there's the farm light, so that will get you there. And then from farm to the power, you're going to go straight. You're going to have to hop more lava, which it's a shorter one, so it's not super bad. And you're going to get into the cornfield, and this makes it a bit easier because you can follow the cornfield area, and there's more visibility, and you can get through here much easier because you can see, and there's a clear trail. At least through here. Once you get past the cornfield, you have to be a bit more careful. So be careful with that lava pit because you can get downed from that if a thing gets on your head, like I was saying earlier. And just keep running. So you're going to get out of the cornfield, and it's going to kind of take you on a left turn. And once you do that, you're going to want to just go straight and get around the obstacles. You're going to come up on like some train tracks. You're going to want to go right over the train tracks. Follow that light. That light is your lifeline. You don't want to stray from that. Otherwise you could get stuck out there, and you don't want to get stuck out there by any means. Go past the lamp. You're going to cross the train tracks here. Stay to the right of that truck, otherwise you will hit a trap. And then you will end up at the power area in a few moments here. As you can see, there are the lights, and you've made it. And then from power to town, there's just one specific area you have to watch out for. So go straight at the beginning, and you're going to hit some more train tracks. After you go on this train track, stay right. I mean, go wide right, because otherwise you're going to go into a huge dead end. You have to go right around the rocks, and then there's an uphill path. And from there on, all you have to do is follow the path. It's really simple after that point. Just stick to the path. Watch out for the zombies that come in, or the other thingies, monkeys, whatever you want to call them. The weird big-eyed things. One of the lamps is out there. That's a good telltale area. As you can see, that made portal. There was a little glitch because I lagged out of this game and came back in, so those lamps should be green. but I lagged out and came back in, so they didn't appear green. You're going to come up to these rocks, just go right around them, then continue to go straight under that fallen over tower, and you're just about there. You can kind of see the outlines of the buildings a bit, and you just go straight, and you're there. You can see the lava. Now the next one, from town to spawn, is really tough. You're going to really want to have Jug, because this is the biggest lava pit you have to jump. As you can see, it's pretty big, and you want to be careful. I got one of those things on my head, so I had Jug, so I didn't go down, but without Jug I would have died. You're going to want to run across the bridge. This one, you're going to want to you're going to make a right. As I'm kind of using, you can see the mystery box light, that's from Plus Depot. That's how far right you're going to want to go. You're going to want to stay right, and you're going to want to stick to that right. It's going to kind of loop you a bit around, and then you're going to end up turning left right before you get there, but just keep right, and then you're there. You just have to go around a few more obstacles, and that is how you run around without the bus, so you don't need to wait around for that. And now moving on to Pack-a-Punch, because that's the most important section. So you're going to want to open up the downstairs area by going back to power and placing a wind turbine in this area right below the hole that says you'll need a source of power. By putting the turbine down, that will open another door back at town. So back there, you're going to want to find the 3 parts to Pack-a-Punch. So that was the baseboard, that is the shell, and over here is the battery. And you go and you build those, and then you can Pack-a-Punch your guns. So that is basically it for this strategy. It is really, you automatically, round 20, you can go round 30 plus if you so wish. Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.